And we're off.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to uh, tonight's adventure of Dungeons and Dragons. Gee, I'm already off. All of us here would love for you to subscribe, so please hit that subscribe button. Then you can join in the live chat, get notifications, share this with your friends, and all of that good stuff. Um, don't forget you can check out our website at dndaddjokes.com. Where we do put updates for what happened last week, as well as a GM's Corner, and you can learn about our characters. So check that out. There's also links to our other social media on that website as well. Um, Tonight we are down 2 people, one of which will be rejoining us next week. Rob, unfortunately, will not be joining us due to just life. He had to back out. So we will miss him, but he will no longer be with us. All right, so let's get into tonight's episode, which is episode number 35, All in a Day's Work. So, what happened last week? As the evening passed, Fix took some time to talk to the statue, known as Philethus, getting no responses. He goes back to his room and works on forging a set of tools. Evangeline waits for everybody to go to sleep and also attempts to ask Philethus some questions. She also does not receive any responses and goes back to bed as well. However, she leaves her constructs and tiny construct to guard her room, not feeling too safe anymore. The next morning, Evangeline checks in with Leslin about the painting and learns of the University of Key's interest in it. She barters for trade. They aid the displaced people in Lipgara for the painting, to which they agree. Seeker checks in with Piff, his captain, and receives Sending Stone so that he can communicate with his captain. Upon leaving, Evangeline and Seeker meet up and begin to discuss the second painting. Bringing Forsyth in, they decide to sell it in the underground, where they may fetch a much higher price. Looping in Fix and Kadeth, who in turn pulls in Gavian, they begin to spread the word that this painting will soon become available. The group then teleports to Thrice, where Kadeth checks in with the Order of Balance, filling them in on the recent events and confirming Elijah's presence at the ball. Forsyth slips away to check in with the underground leader, showing his newest ability to palm items and give his contribution of gold. Meanwhile, Evangeline also slips away to go to her home. However, after saying a quick prayer to the gods, who she's still not really sure exists, she enters the home unnoticed, leaving her boomerang for her brother and a pouch of gold where her mother will find it. She then leaves, seemingly cutting ties with her family. After some further discussion, Forsyth remains behind to do some work for Sylvia and further spread the word of the painting where the group prepares to head to Charman. Seeker is called away at the last moment to return to Key and informs Evangeline that he will be stationed in Harmouth, um, doing military business for the Order. He also hands Evangeline the orb of Velsharoon for her safekeeping, fearing it may fall into the wrong hands while he is away. They then say their goodbyes and part ways. Kadeth, Fix, and Evangeline head to Charmand. When they arrive, they are given directions to Lord Strolduk's manor, where they are greeted by guards at the gate. Upon inquiry of a meeting, one guard leads the group into the sitting room of the manor, leaving the third guard in the hall, keeping watch. They are left there waiting in this room for Lord Strolduk, and that is where we left off. So, you were sitting in the manor in a sitting room. It's not very large, it's maybe 20 by 25 or 30 feet. Um, some chairs, small table where you were served refreshments that was set on that table. Um, Anything you wish to discuss while you're waiting?
Probably just the weather. Benign topics that will offer nothing of real substance to anybody that may be listening in.
Very
Yeah.
well. All right.
Evangeline will cast See Invisibility.
Okay. You do not see anything invisible in this room. After you wait about 20 minutes, Lord Strolduck walks in. He is a tall man. Oh yeah, it's not in the book. He is a tall man, human, about 6 foot, 6'2", somewhere in there. Dark hair, dark eyes, full beard, but trimmed nicely. Uh, he is dressed in fineries. He does not appear to be wearing any kind of armor or even a weapon. This is his home, and he trusts his guard. That's the impression you get. He walks in, and he says, "Good day."
I stand up and I present myself in front of him and do a little um, bow as would be appropriate, or whatever sort of a greeting would be appropriate of their stations, and and introduce myself as Lord Kofik, um, and tell him how lovely a home he has, and that his guards seem to be very alert.
I employ the best that I can find.
I see that. Do you have a problem with miscreants, as it may be?
No, could be because I employ the best I can find.
That it may be. Um, well, that's great to hear. Do you have a place that we can speak in private?
How much more private do you need it to be in my manner?
Well, I don't know how much you share with your guards.
I don't know much of what goes on. You think this is something of a security risk?
I believe it may be. Um, and I would just feel much more comfortable if ears were not present besides those I wish to talk to.
Very well. He will he will turn to walk out the door. He said, "If you will follow me, my office is around the corner."
Is there a table there?
There is indeed.
And I'll say, and if it makes you feel any more secure, I will deposit all weapons on me on the table here.
Oh, I am not concerned about that.
Very well.
He will turn to walk out the door. Now,
I'll follow.
Kadeth,
Yeah,
I know you can detect magic at will.
I think I had started when we first got in here,
That's
or
what I was
maybe even
thinking.
before we got in here.
That's what I was thinking. So you will detect a magic illusionary on Lord Strodok.
Okay.
Um, he will lead you down the hall, past some stairs, around the corner to the right. He'll take a turn to the right, and you will see right away in this hall there are 2 more guards standing in this hall. He leads you past the set of stairs on the right.
As we walk by, I'll kind of nod to him. Bob, Jim.
Bob, Jim. They're like,
Who's Bob and who's Jim?
you know Bob? I don't know Bob. And into a door on the left once you get past the stairs. You will see that this is not a huge office. It's probably 20 by 20-ish. And there's a nice large desk in the center of the office where he will immediately walk around to the further side where his chair is. There are a couple of other chairs in here that are not very large or lavish. They are just there for when he's meeting with somebody. And he says, "Please come in. You're welcome to shut the door behind you."
Well, thank you. I'll kind of look around and I'll look at Kadath and say anything that that your eyes see that I should be concerned of.
I'll take a quick sweep around the room.
You don't see any other magic.
And yourself, Evangeline?
I will do
I'll
the
just,
same thing.
I'll just shake my head at you.
Nope, you don't see anything invisible.
Did Kadath indicate or mention the illusion magic or anything like that?
No.
He
Okay.
hasn't had a chance to, at least not privately.
Right. Um, So I was informed you have in your possession a chalice.
I have several in my collections.
This one, I believe it is said to increase one's ability to scry.
Ah,
So you do know of the chalice.
I do know of the chalice.
Well, first off, I'm very curious. What exactly does it allow you to do?
Well, if you imbue it with a certain property, you are able to look into certain people.
Into or onto?
More into. I keep it kind of vague. You told the guards your name, right?
Yeah,
Okay. I do realize, Lord Trenson. The name is familiar. Are you of the Trenson family of Key?
I am. Were you scrying on our party?
No. Why,
Okay.
this is the first time I have met you.
Well, I didn't know that. It's the first time I've met you. That part I know, but I don't know if
Okay.
it's the first time that you've met me.
Well, um, I'm just curious. I realize I am rather vague about this particular chalice. I'm curious as to why you ask.
Do you have any documentations of provenance?
I do.
Well, there seems to be a problem because there seems to be multiple documentations of provenance then.
That would not surprise me of such an item.
I know that you barely met me, and I know that you have no reason to trust me, but may I see yours? I have no provenance of my own, so I have no claim.
Most certainly. He will stand up. He'll go to a bookshelf. He pulls out a tome, and he flips it open. There's a lot of loose parchments in here. Some of them are actually sewn in, but there's some loose parchments in there. He opens it up and he pulls out a loose one. He lays it down on the desk for you to see.
I'll look to Evangeline. Can you take a look?
There's nothing invisible on it.
There's nothing
Well, more
invisible on
the
it. Okay.
investigation portion of it.
I will do an investigation check. I rolled a 13.
It looks beautiful. Very nice
Well,
handwriting.
how old does it look to be, Evangeline?
With your 13, it looks pretty old, actually.
Looks pretty old.
At least 5 years.
I will pull out the one that I have, and I'll lay it next to it, and I will compare the two.
Okay. Roll me an investigation.
I don't want to. Can't I roll like a persuasion to persuade the paper to tell me it's secrets?
Can I aid
Eventually,
him and
it
give
may
him
do.
advantage?
I was just thinking the two of us
Yes, you
look
could
at it
be
for him.
aided.
I'm trying to get to my character sheet. That would help, right?
Usually.
Usually.
Do you have your dice out too?
I have some of them out, yes.
Hush.
Now, if they're the good ones or not,
Hush.
I do not know yet. Ooh, my entire +1 investigation. But you said I have advantage, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, that one is a 13. That's a little better. A 19.
Oh, 19's nice. Hey, looking at them side by side, the parchment themselves looks almost identical. The ink, however, the ink on his parchment matches the parchment a little better than the ink on the other parchment. The ink on the other parchment seems newer,
Mhm.
even though the parchment itself is
Older.
older. So it's got that little bit of a,
Discrepancy.
yeah.
So, do you utilize this chalice, or is it just something you have to collect?
Oh, it is just something I have to collect. Honestly, I think the usage of this chalice is a little, shall I say, barbaric.
From the little that you have said, I would concur. I'm going to guess that you know who is after this.
Yes, she has wanted it for some time.
And whether I return successful or not, I think that she will simply find another to try to obtain it.
Most likely.
I do believe that your providence is real, more so than hers.
Thank you.
Was not need no need for thanks. It's just simply being honest. Um, but I do fear that it is unsafe, and I do fear that if she gets it, she will not hesitate to use it.
Oh, I have no doubt she would use it. But I believe it to be safe.
I believe that if she is bold enough to send myself after it, she's bold enough to send somebody who may not care. And while your guards seem very apt, I'm sure if time was taken to map their movements and to do reconnaissance amongst over your house, there would be a flaw found.
Getting past the guards is probably the easiest part of reaching that chalice.
So I hate to presume much, but convince me.
Tomorrow morning, bring it back to my office.
Bring what back to your office?
My chalice.
Oh, I am not a thief. I have no skill in thievery.
Do you wish to see where it is located?
Sure,
All right. Come.
I'll
He will
follow.
walk out. He'll walk out of the office. And as he starts to walk by the guard that's on the right-hand side, he'll stop. And he'll hold up his hand to his guard. And they give him a nod. You can. He's not very subtle about it, so probably all of you, if you have an insight of like a 12 or higher. Okay, if you don't have a 12, you're not going to notice this. If you have an insight, passive insight of a 12 or higher,
I do.
you will know that it is a signal to the guards that is between them. Like, this is something that's like, okay, I know that you're real, kind of thing. You are the right person to go down here. So, you recognize that this is a signal. And then he will turn.
Evangeline just thinks he's waving at the guard. They must be friends.
Yeah, you just think he's like, yeah, giving him a it's okay thing. So he will turn and then he will go to the wall directly opposite of the guard. And he will use his body to kind of block a little bit. He does something with the wall. You can see that there's some arm movement. You're not exactly sure what he's doing with the wall. But then the wall slides off to the side. And he will begin to walk down the stairs. Do you follow?
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
Roll me.
I will ask
Oh.
Kadeth to have his detect magic and Evangeline to detect invisible.
All right.
If they go
Invis
for an hour, when it drops, I'll do it again.
okay.
Yeah.
You're probably still fine. Um,
And I'll remind her at 59 minutes and 45 seconds.
Well, mine lasts for 10 minutes, and I know how to keep it going.
okay. Yeah, you've practiced that quite a bit. You got an inkling of when to re-up that.
Yeah.
You will notice about 10 steps down, he pauses only briefly. Kadeth, you will sense magic on like the 11th step that when he pauses briefly, snuffs out, and then he goes on down.
Okay. I'm kind of taking a mental note of all the different things he's doing as we go.
Me too.
Do I notice the pause?
That's real mental there.
Does Fix notice the pause?
Probably.
Then he'll
Yeah.
just kind of skip over the 11th step.
All right. He stepped on it. But
I don't trust nobody. Well, I trust like 3 people.
3 people.
I mean, I would step on it because.
Yeah. Nothing happens obviously. He snuffed it out.
Evangeline
You know
still
that
isn't
he
aware
snuffed it
of
out.
what's going on.
Nope. You get on down to the bottom of the stairs. It rounded a corner and went on down the stairs. When you reach the bottom, you have a small area, maybe 10 by 10, not very large, where there is a door. He steps up to the door, pulls from around his neck. You see him pull from around his neck a key, goes into the door, and he unlocks it. When he unlocks it, he does a little something extra, and you will hear an additional click, but you didn't see any magic on this one. There's just an additional click. And then he pulls it open, and inside, when he pulls the key out, puts it back on his neck, and walks inside. As you follow in, you will see that there are several kind of pedestals throughout this larger room. This room is probably 40 by 60. It's pretty massive. There are several pedestals with several items on them. You're gonna see like golden statues. You're gonna see uh, a a very nice likeness of like dragons of old that you guys have heard lores and stuff about. That's made out of a good gemstone, made out of an amethyst. Um, and it's it's very intricate. You also pass by some a couple of other like a set of darts, uh, set of um, teacups, like all kinds of things. Kadeth, you're sensing a little bit of magic on all of them.
Okay.
There is off behind the pedestals. Um, you're sensing magic on the pedestals and on the objects, by the way. Behind the pedestals, you do see some various crates and barrels and whatnot um, that you can't see what's in them. He leads you about halfway down, and on the right, he'll stop and he'll motion to it. So this, I'm assuming, is the chalice of which you speak. And as you take a look, it's what she described.
I'll take a look at it and say, may I touch?
Um, one moment. he'll turn and he'll kind of fiddle with the pedestal. And Kadeth, you'll see the magic dissipate from the pedestal. He'll say, "You may touch now."
Thank you. I'll pull out my tools and I'll pull out my parchment and I will start taking meticulous measurements of every part of it and start drafting it.
Okay. He
Um,
watches you, just very curious. You know, he's just watching.
Noting the type of metal, the thickness, the weight, everything about it, um, the depth, the curvature, everything I can find about it. and then I will roll it all up.
All right.
There is another way.
Play DM to Rhonda. What does Evangeline need to know in order to duplicate that? Does she
I
need to
have to be
know the
able to.
item?
I have to be able to see it. I think.
Hey, buddy. Good boy.
Uh,
Boy. Good boy. Well, you got eye boogies, okay? And you don't know how to get your eye boogies off.
okay. It doesn't say specifically. It says I'm picking from the replicated items table.
The replicated items table?
I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Oh, there's more here.
Okay.
For something as
Oh no, that's not the right thing.
horrific as this, why do you keep it?
Well, most magic items are pretty hard to destroy. It's beautiful to look at, which it is.
But it is stuck down here, so the only person that gets to look at it is you.
Such is the way things are. I'd rather it be down here where only I look at it, as opposed to be within grasp of others who would choose to use it for other reasons.
Well, as an effort to pass time while Rhonda reads up on that, um, I,
It doesn't give me any specifics on that.
Okay. All right. Then I will allow you to vision is good enough. Well, vision and probably name of item, if there's a specific name. You will
so
need to know the name.
did you hear of the auction that'll happen in a few weeks?
I have not. At least not as of yet.
And I don't, I don't know if we're going to continue that, but I will tell him about the auction of the Second Age painting, and
I will ask him about the specific name of
Names.
this item.
It is. He kind of takes a moment, looks over your party again. It is known as the glyph. It is known as the chalice. Why did I say glyph? It is known as the chalice of blood scry.
That does sound ominous.
yeah. Can I roll a religion or an arcana
Or an arcana check.
to know
Arcana.
Yeah,
I'm
what I know
something
about
I've heard
blood
of.
scrying?
I'm going
Arcana.
to roll an arcana check for probably would for the ability to be able to duplicate it.
Okay.
And I,
Is this something like does it seem like it's something old that might have been in a history book?
Quite possibly, yes. It's got a name.
Can
Most
I
items that have a name have
roll
something.
against my history and see if I've heard of it before?
Sure.
and I'd like to see if I know more about blood scrying.
Okay. You got a
Arcana,
20?
I rolled a
Oh,
22.
27.
22 for me.
22. All right.
I got a whole 10.
Got a
I
whole
rolled a
10.
2 on my die.
Nice. All right. Um, Evangeline,
Must not have read that book.
as far as you can tell, this chalice with the name and what knowledge you do have of items of old, this is definitely a magical item from quite some time ago. They're not exactly sure how old it is. And it's really only mentioned in passing in you kind of recall in a really old book that was, you were up late one night at the university library and decided to scroll through some of the older tomes and by the time you were done scrolling through some of the older tomes, you realized you had reached the restricted section. Um, and in this section, you do recall that this item was used for multiple purposes. It can be, though it's called blood scrying, that is one thing that they can do if you have the person on whom you're going to look into blood. You literally can almost take over that person for a time. It's not just watching, it is being.
Okay.
I
Um,
will turn to Kadath.
Mm-hmm.
Big eyes.
Kadeth, with your history, you do know that this is really old. You because you rolled a 10, you don't get a whole lot. However, but
I
because
skimmed that book.
of the rituals that you know of in the
Uh-huh.
matron's temple, you have heard of this. It has been spoken of, uh, only briefly and only to the higher level, like trainees, when they're talking about the power of blood. They do mention it, and you do recall it being more than just like the ritual that the matron will do, that is how you commune with her, that it is much more dangerous, and so you know the properties of blood. Basically, to teach the students how important blood is to the matron of ravens, this is a warning. This is one of your warning stories. This is your bump in the night story. This is your, you know, didn't think that this really existed. They were just talking about the boogeyman, you know,
Right.
kind of thing. That's what you recall.
This item is that dangerous.
Yeah. Fix. The arcana on this, right? That's what you were rolling for?
Yep.
Okay. The arcana on this is ancient. This is old magic. When you start talking about blood magic, this is very old magic. In ages past, you've heard a little bit of it. Some blood magic is, well, usually blood magic is bad. Uh, Most of the time when it's used, it's only used for evil purposes. Um, and you recall blood magic used to be a thing quite some time ago, maybe third age. Um, and then, but it was only, it heightened about third age, and then it pretty much got banned everywhere, and most still see it as evil, though it's not a prevalent ban anymore because nobody really does it anymore. Um, and you weren't quite sure that items from that still existed, but here we are.
Evangeline, not being too terribly wise, but extremely intelligent, looks at Kadath and Fix and goes, say, this is highly suspicious. Laying it all out on the table, she gave up that vial way too easy.
Yeah. I think we
Yeah.
know why she wanted the vial, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
And I
don't
think that
know.
she
I
got
do
somebody
not.
else to get it.
I do not believe that it is a coincidence that they were both at that ball. And now she wants this. This has to stay out of her hands.
Oh, absolutely.
I will look at Lord Stolduck
Mm-hmm.
and say, I am in need, desperate need, of a bag of holding.
You He kind of looks at your person. You already have a bag of holding on your shoulder, don't you?
Yes. I also have a hidden one.
And you need a third? How many items do you carry, child?
A lot. However, if I do what I'm going to do, one of them is going to disappear. And
Okay.
I will need some place to put some items.
Do you intend to
Very well.
lose this item into the bag of holding, Evangeline?
Lose what I. Oh,
The chalice.
no, I intend on losing my pocket of holding
Right.
and replicating this chalice. It will retain its properties, its magical properties.
I think having one of these items in existence is dangerous enough. Creating a
I do,
second one,
I do
I'm
too.
concerned with that.
But one of them will be in the possession of somebody whom I think can protect it. Otherwise, why would she have sent us? And the second one, I can cause to disappear at any moment.
Who would have who sent us?
You do not want me to say her name.
Right.
Evangeline's thinking, oh, I can't say her name.
You told me not to.
You told me
Yeah.
not to.
So your intention is to replicate this item. The one will remain here. The other will be
If
delivered to her, and then once she accepts it, it is disappeared.
it could be a possibility. The thing is whatever you have, if it is not the real one, it can disappear at any time. But it will deceive her to believe that you have taken it from Lord Stroldutch. However, I have things in my bag of holding in my pocket that I don't want to put together. and I will just look at you because you guys should already know where that orb is in my bag of holding. And you will know that I do not want to put that major legendary item in the same bag with that orb. I don't want to put the spoiler in the same bag
Spoiler.
with the orb. Plus, for one thing, I'm terrified of the orb.
I will reach out and take something out of my bag of holding, and then I will, because I keep my tools and the major stuff still on me, but I will take one thing out of it, and then I will hand it to Evangeline.
Give me 1 second. Go talk to your grandfather.
He's asleep.
We'll wake him up. Sorry about that. I'm not used to having grandchildren on Tuesday night. You're giving me a what? Again?
A bag of holding.
A bag of holding.
I
Okay.
took something out of it, but then handed it over to you. The rest of the stuff in there is mundane.
I will pull everything out of my pocket of holding and put it into that bag of holding. And I will begin working on it. And definitely, Kadath, you'll see this. That as I'm working on it and I am beginning to recreate this chalice, the magic on my pocket, on my vest dissipates.
Now, does the guy look concerned at all? Like,
He
what kind of
looks
reaction is he having to
he
what's
looks
going on?
very intrigued and curious. He does have some concern if you're especially when you guys mentioned having two of these in in the world. Um, he does give off some concern. He definitely you're picking up just with your insight because your insight's fairly high, isn't it?
14.
Yeah. Okay. Not as high as I was remembering, but high enough. Um, you're definitely picking up that he doesn't. Part of the reason why it's down in this vault is he doesn't trust others with it.
Right.
And so a second one does give him pause for concern.
Um, I'm gonna look at him and basically tell him I understand that you might be a little concerned here, but trust me, the concern that we have for even one of this item existing is much higher. I believe she, who we can no longer name due to her knowing if we speak her name, uh, is attempting to use this combined with certain people's blood to negatively affect those of my order. And I'll just kind of show him I'll make sure that the order balance symbol and the Raven Queen symbol are visible so they can see them.
Okay. Will he recognize the Raven Queen? Chances are probably not, but he will recognize the Order of Balance. Yeah, okay. Ah, the Order of Balance. May I ask what the other symbol is?
That is the symbol of the Raven Queen.
Ah,
You may or may not have heard of her. I would not be surprised if you hadn't. Not
yeah,
many in this age have,
I do not recall it.
but she is who I serve.
Very well. As long as I have your assurances that the second
When
one
I
will
get
disappear.
done replicating it, I will hold them up next to each other. And I will ask Strolduck, why have you not destroyed this item? Do you not know how?
No. This is a,
Artifact, I'm guessing.
yeah, this is an artifact. This is the old magic, and quite honestly, if it can stay down here and never be used, it's probably just as well. I don't know what would happen if I tried to destroy it.
As I hold them next to each other, I will give Fix a look. And I will give Kadath a look. It's a look that you've never seen. It's a look that states real or fake. And I'm looking for any kind of response, nonverbal
I'm going to take
response.
a closer look at both of them
Okay.
before I respond. You
Roll
know,
your
the magic and looking at them physically.
the magic that is emanating from both of them is identical.
Okay.
Physically, they look identical. If you want to roll an investigation, you are welcome to try.
Oh, my dice are rolling great tonight. Different die, still roll a 2 on it.
Nice.
So that's a 7.
They are
Yeah, they look
identical.
great.
So
It looks perfect to me.
I'm going to not look at the whole item. I'm going to pull out my measurement tools, check all the measurements against each other, and then check forge marks because it had
Okay.
to have been forged at some point,
Mhm.
and checking for forge mark if it's even slightly different, may not be something that it copied that level of detail, but it's something that Fix would be able to
Right.
recognize.
All right. This is what I'm going to do for you. Roll investigation, but on top of whatever your pluses are for investigation,
Mm,
add your forging as well.
okay, that makes it a lot different. So with just my investigation, it is a 17.
Nice.
With forging, it's a 27.
Nice. All right. Looking at it, I'm going to give this to you. It's a really high DC. Looking at it, you can see minute discrepancies between the two. That, to be fair, you having learned how to forge, having close encounters with Gond, and starting to really train your eye in that forging, you really think that only another forger would actually know these discrepancies, and that's only if they were side by side.
I'll look at them. I'll look at Evangeline and I'll say, I don't think anybody else would be able to tell the difference. And I won't point out which one is real or fake. But he's got that look of, I know. And then I will look to the man and I say, if it could be done, would you give up this item of your collection to be destroyed?
I will have to think on that. Had it for 5 years down here. No one has succeeded on robbing me of anything, prior or since. It is
It,
quite an item.
it is. In an effort to be fully transparent, if I find a way that it can be destroyed, and your answer is no, I will find the people that can bypass your securities, and I will just get it destroyed.
When you find a way,
As another
let me know.
potential, as another potential temporary option, would you be interested in increasing the security for this particular item?
And how might you be able to do that?
Not myself, but
Ah,
I know those who would be able to and would be very interested in that happening if it's not destroyed.
I'm willing to speak with someone about that.
Um, okay, expect to hear hear from somebody from the Order of Balance within likely the next few days. Although I don't know, it may take them longer to get here, but I'll as soon as I can.
Very well.
At that, Fix will start looking around the rest of the area and just kind of perusing the collection.
you, you are welcome to peruse. Might I warn you, though, do not touch.
I'll I'll not touch.
Just out of curiosity.
And I'll look
Are
around with the detect magic going.
Yeah,
Just
everything
Just
me.
for
is so
the sake
magical.
of intrigue, I rolled a 24 on sleight of hand. I will put the chalice into very carefully into the bag of holding that Fix gave me
All right.
because I definitely don't want that to be anywhere near that stinking orb. And I will look at Strolduck and say, you should put your protection back on that.
He'll say, okay. I don't remember what you rolled for your sleight of hand, but he got a 22.
I had a 24.
Dang. Okay. Because he was a watching. That was with advantage. Anyway.
I
So
happened to roll a natural 20.
he as you put things away and kind of looks at the one on the podium for a moment, and then you see him kind of do some hand motions, and Kadeth, you'll see magic go back onto the podium. And he will stand there and wait while you peruse.
While Fix is still perusing, I'm basically gonna step off into a corner,
Okay.
pull out the sending stone for talking to Erwin.
Okay.
I will engage Strolduck in conversation about the upcoming auction.
He will be interested in that.
And then after I think about it for a minute to make sure I get the right number of words.
To
Okay, let me know.
entice him to bid a lot, I will ask him if he would like to have a personal preview.
Why, very much so.
I will pull the painting from my bag of holding
All right.
and show him.
He will look it over. You will see him pull out from a little pocket. You'll see him pull out like a little monocle. He's inspecting it. You know that he's seen things like he's got an eye for finer things. And he's looking at it, gets a very quizzical look and kind of looks at another area, looks at another. This has to be second age. Is this second age?
It
That's
is.
what I told you.
Well, I didn't believe
We didn't
you,
believe
all right?
you.
Oh, you'll let me see your super secret vault, but you don't believe me about a painting.
Well, not everybody knows what to look for. I will not ask how you came about this.
Good.
It was a
You
gift.
expect me.
I will slide it back down in after he's done inspecting it. I will look at him and say, sealed bids are required at X date, X time in X city.
X time. Got it.
And thrice, I believe, is where we're doing all this at.
You can expect a bid from me.
Oh, no, I think we're doing it in Key. Isn't that where we initiated it?
Yeah,
you
in key.
initiated in
In
key.
Key.
So he does tell you you can expect a bid from me.
You are the only one who has seen this.
Well,
Other than, well, the three of us and the rest of our party that's not here. Other than us, you're the only one who has laid eyes on this painting.
Well, I do appreciate the honor of getting a sneak peek at this painting.
It's the least I could do for this. And I'll tap the back.
Okay, what was the name of the chalice?
The chalice.
Chalice of blood
Blood
scrying.
scrying.
Blood scrying. Okay.
Crazy difficult mathematics. Okay. Check. He can do it. Counting to 25, not so much.
Hey, I got 21 words. I think it's actually good enough too.
All right.
So once I kind of compose my thoughts, I'm gonna just send additional magical protection for Chalice of Blood Scrying in Scrollduck's possession. It is desired by lady who stole vial of blood.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting creative on how we address her.
Well, they would know exactly who
They
that is
know
at this
exactly
point,
who
Yep.
that is.
and I'm assuming that somebody there will know who Scrollduck is.
Yeah. Anything else in the collection strike my fancy?
I mean, all of it probably strikes your fancy to one degree or another. Uh, maybe not the darts. I don't know how much of a dart guy you are, but
No. Craftsmanship, Gond, that's about Fix's
yeah.
real passions.
I mean, there's some good sculpting work out of various mediums, including gemstones that made it look like a dragon, but nothing of obtanium, at least not that you can tell. There's nothing of obtanium down here. Um, and nothing that's mechanical in nature, like no clockwork, no cogs and wheels and things of that nature.
Lord Strolduck, you seem to be learned of the Second Age.
I am learned of many ages. This is how I can collect such fine works, some of which I feel safe enough to put upstairs, but most of which is down here.
I will pull out some pieces of obtanium and I will show him and say, "Do you know how or where this was mined?"
Obtanium. There was a lot of obtanium in the Black Riage, or what used to be what we now call the Black Riage. It was in that area that they did a lot of mining of obtanium. My understanding, they built many things with it. Had it in their buildings, had it in their tools. From what I understand, it's quite strong.
It is. And quite a vessel for magic as well.
That I did not know. I do not have anything in my books about it being imbued with magic.
And Fix made no attempt to hide what the circlet was made out of, by the way.
Yeah, the circlet is obtanium. That is very interesting. Do you know of other magical items that may be of this obtanium?
Yes.
Do you wish to enlighten me?
Oh, well, I know of a whole city that was once obtanium, but no, it's now turning into a stone. It's very odd. I don't know what the chemical process was of that. I'm still investigating, but
Interesting.
I thought it was interesting as well. But yeah, and he'll take a little piece of obtanium, probably like a little cog or something, and he'll kind of hand it to him, just like for your collection.
Oh, why thank you. And he's like looking at it, and you could tell he's uh, he treats each thing as if it's treasure, like everything is treasure until it's not.
Right.
Um, Kadeth, it takes a couple of moments before you get a response,
Okay.
and Erwin replies, "I we wish to see this. It does leave cause for concern."
And I'll just let Stroll Duck know. Well, they have. I've let them know about the item, and they're of course concerned about it. But I believe they'll be sending someone to ensure its safety a little more.
Strodok will give you a nod. Very well. I will prepare my guards for their arrival. He takes the little cog of obtanium, and instead of leaving it in his treasure room, he kind of folds it in his hand and puts it in his pouch.
He's gonna
I'm
hold on to that.
absolutely okay with that.
He will. Shall we?
Lead the way.
I would prefer you to exit first so I can lock the door and reset things.
I will
Oh,
exit the room.
I will, and I will
I got no
on
problem.
on that 11th step. I'd like kind of step over and I'd be like, you should add more than just one trap.
Oh, there was definitely more than one trap. If you managed to get down here and...
There were quite
Well,
a few traps.
well, I meant on the stairs.
Oh, well, I could add another one, sure.
Hey, there was always the door itself.
As you leave, he kind of stops, pulls his key out, shuts the door, does a little something. You hear 2 clicks. Heads back up. As you guys are heading out, he pauses a moment if anybody is paying attention. You will see
I
the
am.
magic come back onto the to the step. Head on up. And he will do a very quick hand motion that nobody really catches, and that wall shuts.
Evangeline, with her passive perception of 10, goes, "Hey, what happened to the door?"
This is not the door you're looking for.
Not the door I'm looking for.
Okay.
So, do expect a bid. And is there any further business you wish to discuss?
No, but thank you for being so cordial.
And I have your assurances that she will not have her hands on that for long.
I assure you that I want my pocket back.
Okay.
And I assure you that want her to have nothing, not even breath.
Well, that would be fine with me too, as long as I am not found doing it.
He has a vendetta.
I don't have a vendetta. I have a hatred. There's a difference.
I have a vendetta.
Hmm. Well, I'm sure that she will be placing a bid as well, and it will make me quite happy for her to know that if she lost it to you.
He will smirk. Yeah, that would make me quite happy. Are you planning on staying in Charmant for the evening?
I'll look to the other two.
I'm okay to check out the town. I've never been here before.
Yeah.
Well, very well. I bid you adieu then. Enjoy Charmant. It is quite a beautiful place.
Recommendations?
Going down to the marble table is always nice. They have good food, good drink, good entertainment. And for the most part, you can do what you want there for the most part, obviously within reason. The Queen's Palace, of course, is here. The Impeternal House is what it's known for. Obviously, you can't enter it unless you are invited, but it is quite a sight to behold. Other than that, enjoy the views. We have many bridges that go over the river. It is quite a miraculous view.
Much thanks.
He
We
will
will
walk
bid
you.
him adieu.
Yeah. He will walk you to the front of the manor.
Bye,
And
Jim. Bye, Bob.
Cars are like,
They look at each other again. Jim? Bob?
they start going, ha, I'm Jim. So you walk on out. The two guards at the gate will open the gate for you as they see you approach. And
Uh,
you
uh,
will leave.
leave when we're out of earshot. I'll look to Evangeline and I'll just ask, real or fake?
I don't know. You can tell me. I'll find a secluded spot and I'll hand him the chalice and I'll say, okay, look at it. Can you tell the difference?
I'll pull out my jeweler's loop and all that, and I'll look at the spots and I'll compare, and I'll compare to my memory of them.
All right. Roll me an investigation.
Do I get the same bonus with my forging thing
You will
before?
get the same bonus, but the DC is higher.
Okay. Does a 31 work?
31 will work. Uh, what does he see?
You see the fake one.
I'll just smile and say, "Oh, it's quite real." See? And I'll kind of tap on it. Very real, and hand it back.
I'll slide it in. Tuck it away.
All right. The Charmand is yours. As you kind of head toward, you're pretty close to the heart of the city as it is. He's a lord. So you've passed several buildings already. The direction he gave you for the marble table is further into the city. You notice the further into the heart of the city, the more each of these buildings are made with more of a marble as opposed to just a cobblestone or wood or even finer stones. Um, you start seeing more marble. It's quite spectacular. The city is white, pretty much. As you get to the center with the impeternal house, you will see that it has several spires. It has a solid wall around it. There is a couple of doors that seem to also be made of marble, like these are not easily openable doors going into this palace area. But you do see several spires kind of jut up to the sky. Oddly enough, you don't see a whole lot of windows in this. That's a little, hmm, but there's no windows really in the paternal house.
They
Obviously,
must
there
not
are.
want anybody to get in.
Yeah, uh, there are, of course, the bridges over top of the river. I forget the name of the river. See if I can read it. Tithe River, Tithe. Oh wait, no, that's not Charmant. M. Nope, that's not right. I can't read blue on green like that. It all blends in.
The name of the river is something.
It's something. Wait, I might be able to read it on Owlbear where I can zoom in a lot. It is the Jerribost River. Jerribost. Jerribost River. And you can see that it travels from east to west and it's got a pretty good haul to it. It's not a casual river. It's got some flow to it. You assume that it comes out of the Black Riage Mountains, um, and so therefore it's picked up a lot of momentum as it passes through Charman. You eventually make your way to the marble table, unless there's someplace else you want to be.
Was that an inn or?
It is an inn and tavern. Very nice, very well kept. The tavern itself is made of marble. When you get inside, you do see very fine wood tables, um, and the bar itself has more of a granite top as opposed to a wood top. Um, you will see several young ladies. They seem to have quite a few customers. The customers you notice right away are dressed well. Um, there doesn't seem to be anybody from like the slums per se here. Um, they're all dressed well. The ladies that serve are dressed well. Um, the barkeep has very nice tunic, apron, and whatnot. It doesn't appear to be stained really. What what would you like to do? Would you like to sit, drink,
What
find a
hour of the
dark
day is
corner?
it?
The hour of day is mid-afternoon, I would say.
Probably sit, eat, drink, reserve a room.
Is there a prospector here?
Prospector, as in
Prospecting for gold?
no.
Well, that's unfortunate. Well, you said the river's coming out of the Dark Riage, where you said there used to be a lot of obtainium.
Oh,
I was
well,
going to see
that's
if I could
true.
prospect for obtainium and see if there was still traces of it.
That is true. But no, not here. You'd have to go
Oh,
elsewhere for that.
okay.
No, this definitely looks like it caters to the inner circle of the city and their guests.
Well, then I will get a drink. And I will probably flirt with one of the young ladies there.
They will
Because,
flirt in return. They will bring you an extra drink every so often.
I will thank them with a big old smile. And I will tell them about this place in that I was at where, every time you ordered a drink, you got a kiss. I think that's an amazing custom.
Not so sure all of our customers would appreciate that here. Perhaps
I
in the lower
certainly would.
city.
I'm. You wound me. Are you saying me that I am of the lower city?
No, I'm saying that
Oh, that
most
these
people in
ones up here are uptight. Got it. All that money and nothing good to do with it. So sad.
well, you know, they eat, they drink, they hold parties, of which we cater. So, it works.
Are they
You'll get
parties like your mom throws?
Oh, I'm sure there are many different types of parties that my mother throws. I mean,
I've only ever been to one, so.
I'm
you
sure
eat.
that many are such. Sorry, what was that, Jody?
I was gonna say you eat, you drink. Is there anything you wish to discuss? Kill the evening.
I will find a quiet corner I will pull out a piece of parchment and a writing implement, and I will begin to write,
Okay.
keeping an eye out
All right.
just to see what the other two are doing.
All right.
Over the comm, should we get this over with?
Which part?
Where we have to
Okay.
summon sheesh who I don't want to deal with.
Mm,
Do you want to do it in this city?
Oh, I think that making her come here would be beautiful.
but would it be wise?
If she dies, she dies.
I'm not worried about her dying.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't care if she dies.
probably not. We will
I'm more
wait.
concerned with other things.
Okay, well, we shall wait then.
There are good places. There are places we could do this, though.
Any suggestions?
Oh, your home would be one of them. The Order of Balance would be one. Anywhere that's not neutral ground but favors us.
I do not want to give her access to the Order of Balance in any way,
Neither do I.
but she has already been to my home, at least to the guests' quarters.
And there is a lot more protection than I think even she realizes there.
Then we will make our way back there. On the morrow, though, because tonight is for drinking.
Agreed.
All right. You
He is
begin.
a dwarf after all. I got to give him some dwarven traits.
Some dwarven traits. He can hold his liquor pretty okay.
As long as it's in a glass,
I
otherwise he'll
mean,
drop it.
I
he's
will
not very.
fold up my parchment, seal it away, and go to the bar and ask the barkeep, is there some place that I can get a message sent, a letter sent?
He will say absolutely. If you go out the bar, hang a left, go to the 3
Blah,
buildings
blah, blah,
down.
blah, 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 blah.
Yep. You will find the postmaster.
I will turn and look at Kadeth and fix and say, I will return shortly. And I will go off and go left and blah, 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 and
All right.
get this letter sent.
All right. While Evangeline is gone, you do see a troop of merrymakers come in, set up, begin playing song, and several people get up to dance. It looks a lot more organized than most bar dances that you have seen in your times. They definitely have more ballroom style of dancing as the
Does
band plays.
does the band at least have a good tune, like a good beat to it?
They do indeed, actually.
Then I will ask one of the ladies to dance,
All right. They will dance with you.
and I will not dance in the stuffy ballroom dance. Like it's more of a we're here to have fun type dance.
All right. She'll
I've
follow
had one
your
too
lead.
many drink dances.
And he's only had like one, so
That's why he holds his liquor okay.
hey,
Not
you
great.
know what? He's actually fair. He has a fairly good constitution, so he just doesn't like this whole stuffiness thing. That's what happens when the royal side of your family keeps you a secret. You don't feel the need to follow all the fun stuff.
Nope. Yep. She seems to follow your lead right nicely. She rolled a dirty 20 for her performance, so she'll follow right along. And if you wish to roll a performance, you may. She may end up leading you at times.
23.
Okay.
That was with a 19 on the die.
Nice. All right. You you seem to liven it up a little bit. Having you guys take a few turns around the dance floor and whatnot livens up others to do the same, and you kind of get a little bit of a rowdy party going, which is pretty nice. The winches and the barkeep seem to be enjoying it a little bit more. They're used to serving stuffy upper class, and this is a welcome change.
On my way back, I'm going to look for a shop where maybe I might be able to pick up a bag of holding.
Oh, yeah, you'll probably be able to pick up a bag of holding in here. Absolutely. I have no idea how much it is, but yes.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But I will pick up said bag of holding, and when I get it, I will stuff it down into my pocket. My big pocket. It
Okay.
used to be my pocket of holding.
That used to be your pocket of holding, now holds a bag of holding.
Just don't turn it into a pocket of holding with a bag of holding, or else you'll go kablooey.
Yeah, that would be bad. Don't do that.
Everybody in a 100-foot radius is sucked into an alternate dimension.
Oh man.
Other than that, just having a good time, food, drink, be merry.
And I will come back to the bar and join in the festivities.
All right. It's much more livelier when you come back than when you left. And then you quickly find out why Fix is on the dance floor with a lady.
I will look at Kenneth and say, well, at least he's not holed up in his room forging.
There is that.
As the evening kind of winds down, some guests leave. Merrymakers kind of slow it down and they seem to be wrapping up their stuff. You guys disperse to rooms, your own rooms, one room.
Seeing
Mind
as
to
what
me.
we just did, I think we should have one room.
All right.
Because I
Yeah.
don't want to be attacked in the middle of the night
In the
for.
middle of the night.
Well, and considering who our current enemies are,
There are quite a few, but yes.
When we get into the room, I will put Buckley in charge of watching the door.
All right.
I'll have him
You,
stand in front of the door.
you
And
get in the
TC.
TC. TC's not going to probably stop the door, but he'll at least
He's
alert
not
you
he's
if it
not in
opens.
front of the door. He's on the bed. We went over this once before. Buckley door, TC bed.
TC bed. Got it. All right. The evening winds down. You guys go into the room. You get all set up. You start to relax a little bit. Very briefly, Fix the hairs on the back of your neck stand up just briefly, and then go away. And
Kadath,
yes,
anything around us?
I'll take a look. And actually, well, I'll take a look with Detect Magic first, including out in the hallway.
okay. You don't see any magic.
And while it's still going, I'll use my ghostly gaze just to be sure, and basically look in on all the other rooms around.
All right. Do you take a trip down the hall or just do it from your room?
I'll walk up and down the hall.
Okay. As you walk up and down the
for a
hall,
minute. So
all right, you start to look. There are several rooms that have people in them, some of which are asleep or appear to be getting ready for bed. There is one room in particular that seems to have you see them sitting on the floor, and they seem to be wiping the floor um, of something that seems to be in a circular pattern that they're wiping the floor.
do I recognize anyone in the room?
You do not recognize this person, no.
Whatever remnants are left, do I recognize any of it as any particular spell?
Do you have Arcana?
Not trained, no.
Okay,
But
well,
just using the little bit I've gleaned from watching others around me.
from what little bit you've gleaned and some of the knowledge you've picked up, go ahead and roll me an Arcana all the same.
Okay. 12.
Not too bad. You do see some runes that are usually associated with some kind of second sight, either being seeing invisibility, true sight, scrying, even something as far as like detect thoughts would be like a second sight. You see some runes that's like the last bit of runes they're wiping up that generally has to do with some kind of spell involving second sight.
Okay. I'm going to basically stand at their door and over the comms. I don't know, we haven't really come up with a better word for it, but
The communication earring.
yeah,
That's
our
too long.
communication earrings.
They're hearing aids. Oh.
Hearing aids.
Right. I'm going to tell the two of them, I think we have unwanted guests who are spying on us.
Oh, where?
Oh, a few doors down the hall. I'm
Well, I
standing
say,
outside their room at the moment.
I think we should introduce ourselves.
I agree.
Fix will like kind of hop up, and he'll kind of skip his way down there, just very merrily. Like,
Oh my goodness.
Evangeline pulls on her clothes and puts her vest back on. Okay.
Okay.
that's why you should just sleep in your armor.
She doesn't. She has a leather armor, I guess.
No.
And this
It's
was
pretty much
still
full.
pretty.
In the form of the
Yeah,
vest.
yeah. This
This
was
was still
early.
pretty early in the night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was shortly after you guys got up there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Evangeline's not
Then
fully declothed yet.
I'm gonna cast Armor of Agatha.
Okay.
Hey, that's a great idea. I'm gonna do the same.
Hey, I would too, but I don't have it.
I was thinking it'd be really cool to get some armor that has it permanently on it.
Or at least like once a day.
Yeah, once a day you can activate it or something.
Yeah. So,
You put on your armor. I'm gonna bring Buckley. NTC.
Who
and
needs armor when you got a Buckley?
yeah. And once we're all there, I'll walk up to the door, and it's like this little short dude with this big old tall dude like right next to him. And I'll just kind of knock on the door.
Um,
I'm looking as intimidating as I can, basically.
all right. After a couple of moments, um, you'll see the door open slightly, and we'll see.
And Fix
Yes.
goes,
As soon as it
Surprise!
starts opening slightly, I'm going to reach over Fix and shove it open.
Oh, he wasn't ready for that.
Good.
Oh, but he will maintain his footing. he stutters back a little bit with the door opening up, but he's on his feet, and you see his hands instantly goes to his side.
But the door is open.
The door is open.
I'll just walk in like it's, my friend's house. And walk in and be like, so, were you going to introduce yourself or just spy on me? And I'm looking at him. Do I recognize him?
You do not recognize him. He says, I know not what you mean.
Well, it seems like every time the back of my neck hairs stand up, somebody's trying to scry on me, and you were just casting some sort of second sight scrying spell. So, who are you and what business do you have with me? Or
I will
us?
And
come
And it
into the
might not be
room
me, it might be them.
and
and
immediately
and,
investigate.
and don't
Okay,
try to
roll me
deny it.
investigation.
I saw you cleaning up the spell. And I'll even point to the spot on the floor where it was at.
He will look at you with a questioning look.
Was he the only one in the room when
24.
I looked earlier?
He was the only one in the room that when
Okay.
you looked. 24. Yeah, well, you can see. I mean, it's fairly difficult to see. Kadeth knew where it was, so he can kind of see a few leftover, like little chalk marks or whatever. You are picking up on the little bit of chalk marks too, but you know that it not necessarily. If you didn't know where you were looking, it would be easily enough overlooked. So you do know that something was there for sure. What else is that all you're looking at?
I'm looking at that and see if I can figure anything out from that. And I am also looking around the rest of the room.
Okay. The room is bare. Like there is nothing in here. Um, he seems to be dressed in finer garb that you could see from down there. He would have blended in quite nicely. Um, you um,
Does
you don't see anything else here. Like there is no
No
pack.
evidence of why he would be here or
Right.
that he's traveled here.
That he's even traveled here. Yeah.
does
There's
he
no
have any
evidence
sort
there.
of insignia or mark or anything like that?
Not that you
Uh,
can see. There's nothing on his like holding a cloak
right.
or anything like that. There's nothing that you can see. Um, and he will look at you, Kadeth. Well, look up at you. Uh, 'cause he's not that tall. And it's like very quizzically, like, how would you know? Like that is
I'm
I'm,
not going to answer him.
oh, I'm fixed, by the way. You never gave me your name.
oh funny, I didn't, did I?
No. And I just look at him expectantly.
I am Kalad Taluik.
Do I believe that that's his actual name, or did he have a moment of like, trying to figure out what his name is?
Roll me a roll me an insight,
Insight.
Yeah, dirty 20.
which makes it
A dirty 20.
a dirty 20. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, you you can't quite get a read on him. You're not quite sure.
Okay, well, Claudefoot. Um,
Claudefoot.
He
I
looks at his feet briefly, like
wait, what was that name again?
Kalad Taluik.
Oh,
close enough.
either
Where are
way.
your travel bags?
Hmm.
I travel light.
So, if you weren't scrying or spying on us, who were you spying on?
You should have no need to know.
Oh,
You
need is a
travel
very
light or
strong.
you travel by light?
Well, it should suffice to say it did not work.
Hmm. So why?
Why did it not work?
Sure.
I do not know.
Are
Who
you
are you
a
trying to
bad spellcaster?
It's not my forte.
Hmm.
who were you trying to scry on?
I think I will keep that to me.
Was it anyone in our company here?
Can you scry on a what?
Can I scry on a what?
That's Rhonda asking. Can you scry on a thing?
Yes.
Okay.
You can scry on a thing, you can scry on a place, you can scry on a person.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to double check. Perhaps instead of scrying on a person, he was scrying on an item?
I'll look to
Ooh.
him. Were you scrying on an item? You didn't come through.
I said perhaps. I should
Ah.
have come through.
I
didn't use
saw
my
you
mic.
mouth it, but I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't pick it up for some reason. Huh. Okay. Well, were you sent to scry by the lady of? I forgot where she's the lady of.
That's kind of
North of
vague.
Weirfall. North of
Um,
Weirfall?
yes, it was north of
Lady
Weirfall.
G.
Yeah. Lady north of Weirfall.
Little
Little
G.
G.
Little G.
Well,
Baby G at this point.
maybe her first name's really Kenny.
Kenny.
Kenny
Uh,
G.
Oh Lord.
dear Lord. He will say, I do not know this lady.
Then what were you scrying on?
I do not wish to divulge this.
Right, but you made the mistake of somehow your spell. I don't know why it gave me people bumps, but
People bumps.
instead of goosebumps, people bumps.
I mean, I know why we call them goosebumps, but
At least I'm concluding that it was your magic that interacted with me somehow. So I want to know why.
I could not tell you.
Well, that's why I asked what you were scrying on, because then I could maybe know why.
I
That is
will
why
not
it's
tell you.
important.
Let me rephrase that.
We already know that you were doing it. What does it matter that we know what it was you were scrying?
Buckley takes position between Kadath and Vix.
Between them? In a line?
Just somewhere between them. That way, if he needs to, he
Gotcha.
can defend either one.
Either one of them. Got it. Uh, the item that I scry upon is unknown to most, and I wish it to remain that way.
Is it sort of like a cup?
Did we ever ask him where he's from?
Oh,
Not
yes,
just who
there
he
was
is, but where he's from.
Oh no.
I should write his name down, huh?
Okay. That's a. Was that Evangeline asking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and where are you from?
So many questions.
Well, you were caught spying.
Spies get questions.
by people
Snitches
who
get
are not
stitches.
from
I'm
here.
I'm gonna go down on the. I'm gonna kneel down on the floor
Where would he be from?
and start tracing the where the runes were with my finger.
He will say, I am from Moulin.
Moulin,
Moulin.
Moulin Rouge.
M-U-L-E-N. Moulin. Moulin Rouge. Moulin. And in case you haven't heard of it, it's the capital of Iskabul.
Excuse me.
It's the capital of Iskabul. I-S-C-O-B-A-L. Iskabul.
Hmm.
So, why were you scrying on the cup?
Because that is what I've been paid to do.
Oh, by who?
By an employer who wishes to remain anonymous.
Well, I'm trying to determine if the person who's paying me is the same person that's paying you.
If you are in possession of said item, it's hard to say.
Do I look like I'm in? I don't got no this item on me.
That's true. He doesn't.
It's true.
I think I just put myself in the line of fire.
And no one here is in possession of this item.
That's also true.
Technically true. Technicality, but it's true.
Technically. Well, then we have no quarrel.
Well, I want to know why this person felt the need to send another when they sent me.
How do you know I am from the same?
Because there's only one person I know of that is stupid enough to do such thing.
Unfortunately, I know a few.
Yes, but she has
I mean,
proven to be this stupid multiple times.
She's not even good at it.
True.
Which is probably why she sent you.
I can get myself out of scraps.
So, what's your plan, seeing as you don't know where this thing is?
Try again another day.
Good luck.
Well, yeah, have fun with that.
Although, let this serve as a warning. Don't scry on us.
No.
We're being
That's-
friendly tonight. We may not the next time.
He really
And I'm going to give him
like to be scried upon.
I'm going to
Can't
give
wait
him
to
a
fix.
really serious look. Like I'm going for the intimidation factor here.
Oh, roll me intimidation. Evangeline, you said you were going to
Yes.
start tracing
Yes.
what was left down there?
Yeah, what I could see.
Okay. Roll me a perception.
That would be a 27 on intimidation.
Perception
27?
or
Yes.
an arcana?
Good
Rolled a
heavens.
natural 20.
Oh. Oh. Woo, woo, woo.
I can be intimidating when I need to be.
Perception. I actually rolled a 19, so my 0 got me a 19.
All right. You are tracing, and yep. Yeah, none of you will notice this, but you're tracing. And as you kind of are going around kind of tracing things, you get to areas you're pretty sure you've traced before, but it's not there anymore.
Okay.
He says, very well. I will heed the warning. If you are scryed upon tonight, it will not be by my hand.
I hate the specificity of that statement.
Well, I cannot control others.
Is there
And I have
anything about
nobody else with me.
what I was tracing that seemed familiar to me at all?
You will see some similar runes to see invisibility. You do not have scrying, right?
No.
Okay.
I would be see invisibility, or if I was doing like detect magic or something. But mostly see invisibility and my find familiar spell that I have modified with
With a
with my tiny construct and the runes that I put inside him
okay.
would be visual.
Would be visual. Okay. Yeah, you see some runes very similar to those.
Okay.
To answer your statement, I cannot control others, and I do not travel with others.
What
Evangeline
exactly?
will look up at him and go, "Who watches your back?"
I do.
But then who watches your front? Oh.
While you're watching your back, who's
I've
watching
got
your
eyes
front?
everywhere as he turns his head in a 180. No, I do.
What exactly was your employment of? To just retrieve it? From who?
Not to retrieve. This is all reconnaissance.
Oh, you're a watcher, not a doer. Okay.
Yes.
She
He's
just
a
wants to make sure you're doing what she wants you to do.
So you're my
messenger boy.
babysitter. Sorry, what was that, Chuck?
A messenger boy, not a doer of deeds.
Well,
Not a delivery boy.
I was not asked to deliver any messages either. I was
Oh, the message is
asked to
more
observe.
unspoken at this point.
Tell her. Um, to
She'll
meet at
have to
my
wait for
that
her
I
day.
will, yeah, that I will contact her with the time and place for her to retrieve her, what she has requested. Can you deliver that message?
I am no messenger boy.
Oh, yes, you are.
Tonight, boy, you are a messenger.
Very well. I will deliver this message to whom?
To your employer.
Very well.
And I'll just turn and walk out.
Right. Are you still tracing, Evangeline, or did you stop?
I stopped. I will follow Fix and Kadeth out of the room. But before I leave, I will turn around and look at him and say, I don't care who you're working for. In his time, he will take care of his business. And then I'll turn around and walk away. Because Evangeline thinks this could possibly be somebody else. Not necessarily.
Lil G.
Not necessarily little G. It could be Big Mama.
All right. He will let
for
you walk out of the
for
room.
multiple reasons.
He won't
She
stop this.
suspects for multiple reasons.
All right. You walk out. As you leave, he waits a moment, and then he'll go and shut the door. And you guys head back to your room.
Yep.
All right. You get an evening's rest. So any spells and whatnot you have used can replenish. And you wake up in the morning. What do you do? Actually, not what do you do. Morning will come, and we're going to take a break because I need a bio break.
All right. We will be back 5-10 minutes or so.
We'll see you in a few.
we're back.
All right. The party has just woken up in the morning at the marble table in Charmand.
Better have some breakfast after that night.
Right?
They will have breakfast available.
Yep, gonna get some breakfast. Morning grog.
Get some grog.
And
The
are we
Highland variety with pumpkin spice.
There you go.
And then are we gonna just head back to the teleportation circle?
As
I would
well.
assume so.
Okay.
I would think
We'll go
so.
back to the teleporters.
Alrighty. You head back to the teleporters. The gentleman is there from before, and he sees you walk in. He stands up. He says, "You are going back to
Key,
Key.
please.
back to Key. You did not come from Key, did you?
Nope.
Nope.
Right. To Key
But
it
key
is.
is the key.
Oh, well, that's why it's named Key. You will start activating the runes. To Key it is. And he will look at Evangeline and give her a little nod.
I will watch him very closely to see if I recognize any symbols that correlate to last night.
There will be one that basically signifies, something that would be of pretty much infinite range type of thing that would signify distance.
Okay. I made a mental note.
All right. Lights it up and says, "Have a good day." It will be earlier there than it is here.
Oh, I will hand him. He's the only one there, right?
Yeah, it's just him.
I'll hand him 3 gold.
Why, thank you. And you guys will disappear and reappear where there is a gentleman sitting. Actually, they can't all be gentlemen. This one's going to be a lady sitting. And she will stand up, kind of just all of a sudden. And she's younger. She looks younger. She's like, "Oh, I was not expecting anybody this morning. What brings you to Dirk Hall in Key?"
A
A
teleportation circle.
teleportation circle.
She will kind of shake her head. She's like, "No,
Presumably a wizard.
business."
I have need.
Oh, she
I
will
have need.
recognize you.
I have need to go to my laboratory.
Yes, of course. And
Laboratory.
the
Laboratory.
laboratory.
A laboratory.
She will motion you onward and kind of give you a slight bow, Evangeline. She is of a lower rank than you. She seems to just be there to kind of guard the circle, alert others if unwanted people want by.
I will very quickly get a confused look and then remember, oh yeah, my place, and do likewise. All this formality stuff.
Right? It's tiring, isn't it?
Yeah, you've never seen Evangeline stand on formalities yet.
Well, that's usually because when she's around others that she would stand on formalities on, her nose is in a book.
Pretty much.
Yep.
All right, so you head through the halls of Dirk Hall, areas of which neither one of you two have ever been in. Evangeline, you've been through these areas before. You know your way to your laboratory. The further you go, the more familiar it seems because she has taken you to some places. And you end up in your laboratory. What are you doing in your laboratory?
Since it's so early in the morning, how early is it?
It is
5:47 and 36 seconds. Oh,
There you
I'm
go.
just.
precisely. Fix is right on it, always.
we
No,
we we should
it's
kill
pretty
just a
early.
little bit of time.
It's like on the edge of sunrise.
I'll reach into my pocket and pull out that bag of holding. I'll open it up and I'll start stuffing it full of books
All right.
and stuff from my desk, my work table.
All right.
I'll open the closet, pull out excess clothing, stuff it in.
Stuff it in. Let's see. Oh, well, okay. Kadeth and Fix, you will both, from your insight, she is either preparing to just have a travel laboratory, like anything and everything that she might potentially need, or she's moving.
Um, was I supposed to request a roommate up for you at the house? Because I don't think you told me that, but I can.
Be that hard.
Might not be a bad idea.
Okay, we'll get it done. And then I'll look
Alright.
at Cadet, and I'll be like, "Did you want a room too?"
I mean, couldn't hurt.
Okay. And I'll do one for Forsyth too, just in case.
For whenever he joins us.
Yes. Okay. Then we shall be on our way.
By the time she's done, the only thing left on her shelves are, of course, odds and ends of books and stuff that she doesn't really feel is important enough to have.
Right. So you almost completely clean out your laboratory then. All right. You get ready to head out. You head out of Dirk Hall, kind of round the corner to head toward the Trinson residence. Roll me perceptions.
Perception.
18.
18.
I have a 15.
15.
9.
9.
9.
All right. Well, you might not.
Might not even notice it.
You might not even notice this. Let me see.
Be the first time.
My
Well,
perception sucks.
Not. I don't get away with much. I might get away with this one. All right, let me
I cast Perceive All.
perceive all. Yeah, good luck. Oh my gosh, you're crapping me right now. Alrighty. You will begin to, feel that ever-present stare, whatnot, and you kind of look around as you're walking through some of the streets, and you begin to notice the same 3 people.
People.
They are definitely following you.
Assuming I don't
Alright.
notice this.
Well,
Yeah, Kadeth is not going to notice this.
I'm just
Well,
going
he
la
noticed.
di da di da.
Kadeth, you do notice one. You rolled a 9. One of them did roll.
One rolled that bad. Okay, got it.
Yes, one of them did roll that bad.
3 people following us on our 8 o'clock. I don't know where they're at.
8 o'clock works.
Wait, what time is it?
Do they look? Do do I recognize any of them?
What was your perception? 14?
18.
18. Okay. You catch a glimpse of one of them. You're pretty sure you've seen that person in passing before. You're pretty sure you've seen it in the Order of Truth. When you probably passed them in Dirk Hall at some point. They just they look vaguely familiar.
Do I see any in particular? One, whatever.
What'd you roll?
2. I rolled a 15.
Oh, you rolled a 15. Yeah, you're gonna see 3 of them. So
Okay.
with a 15, you're probably gonna recognize at least one of them, having just passed them in Dirk Hall a lot. The one that you seem to recognize, you've passed them several times, coming in and out, always with purpose. Like they don't hesitate one bit about where they're going or what they're doing.
I'm gonna cast a cantrip.
Okay.
I'm gonna reach into my component pouch, wiggle it a little bit, and reach down in there and pull out a tiny little flea.
Okay.
Do an incantation. I'm gonna cast infestation.
Oh no.
An
Eventually,
infestation of fleas.
Okay. What does
Well-
infestation do exactly? So I know how this will hinder or hurt or.
It's a Constitution savings throw of 14. I cause a cloud of for fleas. Cause a cloud of fleas to appear momentarily on one creature I can see within range, whichever one's closest within 30 foot.
Okay. Is it just on the one person, or is there an area of effect?
No, it should. Well, it's on one creature, so it's on one person.
Target
Yeah.
one person. Okay.
Target one person, yeah.
Okay.
And has to make a Constitution savings throw or take 1d6 poison damage. And
That
well,
is that is a 12.
Okay, it takes 1d6. 4 points of poison damage, and is moved 5 feet. This is a roll. And I rolled a 1. 5 feet to the north.
5 feet to the north. All right.
Yeah.
Ah! You kind of hear him scream a little bit and start brushing some things off. How much damage was it?
4.
Oh my
4
god.
points of poison damage.
Nice.
Evangeline, is there a reason your order is following us?
I just look at Fix and go, I don't know the reason, but I'm sure they have a reason, but I'm sure the reason is no good. I just keep walking.
Okay. Do you wish me to stop them?
Well, we should maybe see what they're doing and possibly stop them. Are they continuing to follow us?
They are continuing to follow you, although the first one's kind of fallen behind just a little bit, brushing fleas off of him. Gosh, fleas. That's having
Well,
had an infestation of fleas in the house before that.
That's not fun. The damage should be a lot higher. And it should be psychic damage.
Right?
All right. If they still follow us a couple blocks, I will turn and I will say, "Why are you following me?"
Okay. Yeah, they continue to follow you for a couple of blocks.
And I keep about 30 feet between us.
Okay. Um, as you stop and turn around, you instantly see one of them, who is kind of dressed in a robe, throws up a shield, like almost immediately. He definitely caught that it was you that caused the infestation. Other three, not so much. Or the other two that you see, not so much.
Your shield is gonna do you no good.
And like, the order has caught word of some dealings and wishes to know your business.
My business is my own. If I open up a lemonade stand, I will be sure that you know about it. But other than that, I don't care what you want to know. What was that?
You have one among you who should care.
Is he looking at Evangeline?
Yes.
I'll look to Evangeline.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Brandon. He said there's one among you who should care, and he's looking at you.
Care about his business?
Care about letting the order know your business.
The order knows my business.
Hmm. Not all of it.
You know, I find that this is the problem with your societies is that you get so paranoid of each other that you throw accusations. I don't like accusations being thrown at my friends.
Accusations.
You accused her of knowing things that she's not reporting. That is the definition of an accusation.
I will look at him and say, my business is still to figure out exactly what happened to Retan Balin and why it happened and where it came from. And I am continuing on that mission.
Have you reported all things?
That I know as of this point.
Roll me a deception.
Baby, don't fail me now.
Oh,
With a natural 20.
not fair. What does that bring it to?
19.
Oh, jeez. Well, that's still better than what I had. Yeah, I rolled a 14. They will withdraw just a little bit. Say very well. Know that we will be watching.
Ah, but who watches the watchers?
Everybody answers to somebody.
It's a whole lot easier to get information if I can build trust. It's a whole lot easier to get the information the order needs when they don't blow my plan. Turn it around back on them. Tell them now they've messed everything up.
Ooh, you gotta get it. you will see.
Now my traveling companions know my purpose.
That was nothing new for them. What you said, anyway.
Yeah, it's not like it mattered to us, but
Yeah.
um, he will kind of raise his hand and
Because you guys know I'm lying through my teeth.
he will raise his hand and kind of wave off. He's looking beyond you. And as you look, you will notice another gentleman, rather burly, definitely built to be melee, more of an enforcer type, step back into shadows and disappear in an alley.
I'm really glad that the Order of Balance trusts its own people.
Perhaps the Order of Balance doesn't lie to its own people.
There is that.
Do you say that with them there? You be on your way.
I'm just
Ooh.
standing there staring at them, and I'm like, you first. You are dismissed.
Are we now?
For now.
I look at Fixed and say,
They will shake their
let's
heads.
go.
And they will turn. And they will walk away.
And as soon as they turn, Vix will turn as well. How in the world do you guys answer to stuff like that? I'm looking at Evangeline like, what is their purpose? To be annoying?
Not here.
Okay.
I may not trust your mother, but it's the safer place to speak.
Saying something.
All right.
You
Okay.
trust his mother more than your own people. There's something wrong with that.
Very wrong.
I get the distinct feeling that you guys don't trust my mom.
I trust your mom. To a point.
I trust your mother, not so much the mistress.
I trust them both to act in their own interests.
Yeah.
And then we'd head to the house.
All right.
And as soon as we get there, Fix would find a guard or somebody and tell them to fix up the rooms accordingly.
All right. Yeah, you'll run across like the head servant in the house, who will of course, give you a bow and say, of course, right away. And she'll disappear, and you'll see several servants kind of start scurrying about the house to get things, clean sheets and, all of that stuff.
And then I'd go into I actually go to, I would take them to my quarters
Okay.
and ask them to make sure that it was still secure, and then we could talk here.
I will do.
You do not see anything invisible. You do not see. I don't know. Does he see anything magical in your room?
Probably not.
Okay. You don't see anything magical? That there's
I'd
nothing out
only
of the
look
ordinary, I'll
for
put it
I'd
that
only
way.
look for the sake of safety anyways.
Well, you've never detected magic in his room before, so I didn't know if there was anything else in there.
I can't think of anything that he would have
Okay.
that would be magical.
Okay. All right. So yeah, there's nothing that you don't expect.
Okay.
Seems pretty clear.
I will look at Fix and go, I trust your mother that she wants to protect you, that
Yeah.
she will do anything for you. But when that calling confronts her position as the mistress, if there is a conflict, which one will prevail?
Well, seeing as we saw her riding a dragon, I hope that the one that wants to protect me prevails, but I see your concern. Hmm. I think what it comes down to is showing her that the two are not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
If my suspicions are correct, and they are just simply my suspicions, I have no proof. If the statue protects you, and reports to her, she knows where I stand. And could be a mutually beneficial relationship. But word on that is yet to be confirmed.
Understood. Understood. Well, if you do get confirmation on that one way or another, let me know. But on to more amusing business. Shall we call she who shall not be named?
Little G.
Oh, if we must.
Melody.
So my understanding of the protection of the house is that like guests could come into the foyer, but beyond that they would not be allowed unaccompanied and not and unaccepted, right?
Correct. Unless previously set up.
Okay. Then shall we go to the foyer?
Sure.
Or is it foyer? For whatever it is.
Foyer.
Oh
For
The
yay.
foyer.
We will go
foyer.
to the vestibule.
Foyer. The
The
vestibule.
vestibule.
The entry hall.
We'll go to the front door.
Yes. And once we're all there, I will call her name.
All right. You stand there for a while. Um, after a little bit of time, it's only about 30 minutes almost.
At about like
Um,
29 minutes, I'm like, if you want this thing, you better hurry up, otherwise you forfeit it.
You forfeit.
um, there will be a servant or a guard that comes in and kind of startles with all of you standing in the foyer. Uh, not expecting you guys to be in the foyer, and says,
We're just talking to Philatheus, whatever his name is, Philatheus.
standing there unmoving, and if you say that, they all look really confused, like you're talking to a statue.
Well,
Um,
you know, you got to do something while you're waiting.
It's
they
really
will
nice. You
say,
should try it.
they will look at you, Kofik, and say, Lord Kofik, uh, Lady Trens, Lady Trenston, nope, Lady Gara is here to see you.
Oh, please, show her in to this area.
Very well.
Well, that was quick. I say very sarcastically.
The guard will open up the door and say, "You welcome, Lady Gara," and he kind of gives her a
Not
bow
really.
as she walks in.
Yeah, she's not really welcome.
Yeah, well, like, oh yeah, tell that to your mother. Go.
My mother, my mother is much more bound by niceties than I am. I know you. He looks at her and he smirks and he says, I know you.
Yeah, well, you think you know
I've
me.
seen you like almost naked. I know you. Oh.
Well, okay, I did have on my health robe. she, she'll say, "So, have you been able to retrieve?"
Oh, yes. I thought your messenger boy reported to you.
I had no messenger boy report to me.
Did you not send somebody to spy on me?
Oh, I sent several somebodies to spy on you.
Well, why?
I'd like to
Do you
know
not
that
trust me?
my items are procured and are heading my way.
Oh, did they see me procure it?
No, at
Then
least
how do you
none that
know?
I have sent.
So they were worthless. You are
Which
bad
is
at what you do.
why I asked you
He
to
really
procure
is.
it.
You really should get yourself a better scryer.
You should get yourself a better job. Like, I
Mm,
think they're hiring for a winch down at the bar.
yeah, I don't winch. I
Yeah,
mean,
you don't do anything.
You might be better at it.
Hmm.
We
oh,
know you're a collector.
I have entertained.
Oh, I'm sure.
Is that what you call it?
Would you like to come back to my manor and be
I saw it.
entertained?
No, I saw it. Your manner's kind of pathetic.
You only saw part of my manor.
Saw enough.
Hmm. You can come see my collection.
Oh, can we get this over with?
Yeah. So once once
Knapp
you
is bored.
receive once you receive this item and confirm that it has the properties that you expect it to have, oh, here's your forgery, by the way, and I'll hand back her provenance.
She will take it from you.
Then our dealings are done. Your fake dealings, but the dealings are done. Agreed?
Agreed.
Are you going to who's going to confirm its authenticity?
The
Is that
Valkyrie.
you?
The Valkyrie.
Is
That's
he
The
the
here?
Vac
mage, right?
the Valkyrie is here.
Well, will he show himself? I know he's a little peeping Tom, but
We'll turn around and look at the door. She waits a minute, and then the door opens and Devakri walks in. He was outside. He was not invisible.
okay.
Oh, ye of little faith.
In you, I have none.
Very little.
Absolutely. Like negative faith. Like faith debt.
It's probably just as well.
Oh, definitely.
I'll look to Evangeline and extend my hand and say, may I?
I'll reach into the pouch and pull out the chalice and hand it to X.
And I'll hold it out towards Devakri and say, confirm.
He will hold out to take it.
Without using it.
Uh,
I will be witness to no such thing.
I cannot use it at this time.
I will hand it to him.
He will take it. You'll see him do a little incantation on it. You recognize this as basically like an identify. And he will look at Gara and give her a little nod and hand it to her. She says, huh. And she'll take it. She'll kind of look at it. How did you procure it?
From Lord Strolduck's collection.
None have succeededly.
None are
Exceedingly?
none are us.
All right. Your favor is concluded. And she takes the chalice and she slides it into a bag.
When she says
Very
that,
familiar bag.
I'm going to walk behind the statue deeper into the house, but still where I can be in proximity if needed.
Okay. And she says, well, our business is concluded.
I hope to never see you again. You are.
Something tells me we probably will.
Well, then I'm sorry for you.
We'll see. She'll turn and walk out.
Oh, and Gira, you're no longer welcome in my home.
Very well. My business here is done.
But I would find it amusing to see if you try to re-enter.
I would have to have reason to.
I'll keep that in mind.
I'll give her a reason. Oh.
All right. Devakri follows her out, and you see him kind of walking down the terrace, and the guard will shut the door.
I'll look to Evangeline and be like, is it done?
Are you ready for it to disappear?
Oh, yes.
I will pull the bag of holding off. I'll pull my stuff out of it, set it down on the floor, and I will begin to reinfuse my pocket into a bag of holding.
I want my pocket.
As my pocket begins to return to its magical state, the chalice begins to disappear.
Will disappear. All right. It's currently in a bag of holding, so she's not going to know that right away.
And I'll put my stuff back in my pocket.
And I'll get my bag of
Evangeline's
holding back.
very happy, and I'll give Fix back his bag of holding.
And I will put my item back into it.
All right. All right. What do you do?
I look to one of the servants, one of the guards, whatever, and say, "Is my mother in?"
They will say, no. Lady Trenton is on
She's
a
on
mission.
bivouac.
Oh, she's on leave. Got you.
She's away on business.
I'll look at the. I'll look. It was it a guard or a servant?
It was a servant in the house. The guards are outside.
I'll look at the servant and says, "So everyone, literally everyone but me knew."
Uh, yeah. There's a few of the newer servants that don't know yet. I'm sure they will know
Oh
soon
yeah,
enough. They
yeah. I'm
the
sure it
guard is
won't take them
Sure, sure.
40
cut.
years.
Compare him to the servants. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah, everyone is not quite accurate, but there's like two in this household that haven't earned the trust to know yet.
Hmm. Well then, I just shake my head. And then I close my eyes, and I will, for the first time, utilize the circlet
All right.
to try to establish a telepathic link with my mother.
All right. It takes a moment. You feel it reaching out for her, and she is definitely not in the city. So it takes a little bit of time, and eventually you do feel that connection. In the meantime, the servant is, like, we can. I will ensure that there is food ready for your nourishment or refreshment, should you choose to partake. You are welcomed in this home.
Well, it's my home. I hope so.
She was looking at
Oh,
Evangeline's
gotcha.
desk.
I was like-
You had closed your eyes. You checked
yeah.
out. She recognized that.
I will take her.
She will recuse herself to go take care of the kitchen and things like that. You do feel a connection to your mother. Now she is aware, right?
Yes.
Like when you get connected, she's aware who and
Yeah.
okay. It's not like you have to initiate something per se.
No.
Okay. She will. She will
She
feel
says,
your presence. She
"Perfect,
will
get
go,
out of my mind."
go get your
Oh,
ass
this
in
is
my get your ass out of my house right now. No. Um no, she will actually respond a little quizzically like Kofik?
What time is it?
At your home it is approximately 10:30 maybe in the morning.
Hmm. Good morning, mother.
Oh,
Or at least here.
good morning to you. I'm not there. Although I think you know that already.
The dealings with Gira are complete. She's going to be very mad.
Oh Lord.
She's going to be extremely mad.
What did you do?
I gave her the chalice of blood scrying that she wanted.
Was that the chalice?
Yes.
And you gave it to her?
As far as she or
well,
anyone else, except for maybe myself, could tell, yes. Had all the same magical properties, could do all the same magical things.
Well, if
Only
it can do
difference is that it kind of disappeared when she accepted and confirmed she received it.
okay. I'd rather deal with her wrath than to deal with her perceived newfound power.
I have also informed her that she's no longer welcome in this home.
Well, okay. Eh, Could make for interesting conversation the next diplomatic ball that we have to hold, and she's in town. But
Don't invite her.
well, we'll see what I can do.
Diplomacy is all well and good, but she is neither good, and I hope she is not well either.
Well, that is. Well, she won't
I
be
can
well
cast
after a while.
infestation on her.
That was pretty good. I didn't even know you had that.
as a cantrip.
Very well. I will deal with her when I need to.
Do you wish me to seek a way to deal with her permanently?
I mean, eventually it may have to come to that.
I do not like doing such things, but for her I'll make an exception.
Oh, okay.
I don't like being lied to. By anyone, Mother.
Yeah, you've experienced much.
Alethis, does he answer to you?
He does not
Does he
directly.
report to you?
He will. What he feels is necessary. He does not tell me everything. That I am sure.
Does he serve you or the Jagged Dream?
He serves me as the mistress of the Jagged Dream.
And I assume in such he will serve your successor.
He will.
So he is tied to the organization.
Yes.
Does he exert his will to push the organization in directions he feels are necessary for it?
If he does so indirectly, not through magical means.
Oh, I've had the servants make up rooms for my companions here in the home.
Very well.
Just so you know. You know.
Fine. I am okay with your companions. Even the sneaky one.
He does grow on you.
Well, you have brought him into the home, which tells me you at least trust him to have your back.
I do.
And his hands in your pocket.
Yes.
He keeps his hands out of Fixin's pocket.
I will let you get back to whatever you're doing, but I do have one request of you, Mother.
What is that?
Stop punishing Gidna for me finding out.
I have.
Have you?
I have. She is in Nyliash because she is the best fighter we have.
Do you feel that there will be need for that?
I do.
How bad is it there?
The edge of civil war. You hear a little smirk.
And do you want it to go over the edge?
I do.
And who do you want to come out victorious?
I want. I have his name. I have to look for his name. Give me a second. I want.
Gav or Reth?
I want Mara Levis.
Ah,
Who is
Nope.
he?
Yeah,
don't know.
Levis.
He's a newbie.
She is the ruler of the third tier of Niliesh.
The workers, the
Yes,
laborers.
yes,
So you wish the city to go to the people.
yes. She is older, inhumanly old, wise, and just. I believe under her rulership the city could go further.
Understood. Did you know that that city was actually a masterpiece of Gond's? I told you this, right, Mother? Like,
Oh no, she gonna hear you for the next 24 hours?
At least for
I
the
hear him start saying that. I'm like, I'll be in the other room.
See you in the other room.
Uh, 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 you
Food
want to
in the
show us
kitchen.
to our rooms?
She will listen kindly and
Well,
remind you, yes,
it would be
you
like
did
for
share
30
some of this
seconds or
stuff.
something like that. It wouldn't be for hours on him. Um,
Oh no, what has he got that allows him to do this? Must remove it. Changing my name.
Changing
Who's
my
this?
my telepathy number.
I'm changing my
Who's
IP
this
address.
mom you speak of? I know her not.
But yes, she will listen intently. She will let you know some the parts that you did remind her of or tell her of already, and listen intently at the parts that you did not tell her already. Um, she is thinking. Um, she is thinking if they can get the city under Mata Levis, uh, the workers could possibly make it move once more.
Does she mention that?
She will think that towards you. Yeah, I mean,
Well, maybe, but first we have to figure out what the process of turning the obtanium turning to stone was. If we can reverse that, then perhaps. But that took eons to happen.
yeah. Do you think it cannot function on the 7 that it has?
I think it could, but they're stone already. They need to be turned back to obtanium.
Oh, those were not stone. The ones
Oh,
that were
those
actually
weren't?
on that, no, they were
Oh,
still
I thought they
obtanium.
were. Oh, okay,
No,
never mind then. I
no, they were
misunderstood.
still obtanium. The 8th one that you found was stone,
Okay,
which had been
perhaps.
removed from the
Yeah.
platform.
Perhaps being removed from its source of power caused that. But I'd have to see the inner workings.
That is a theory.
I'd have to see the actual mechanisms that make it work. I didn't take the time to do so, but I could.
You could. I would
But
advise you not to go there too soon. I'd hate for you to get caught in the crossfire.
mm, how long do you think it will take?
I am unsure of that at this time. It is on the edge. The shift of the young lady um, help to push it a little bit further.
I knew you were behind that.
Hmm. Well, we do have some business with an auction here for in a week or two, so perhaps that will give us enough time.
It should. If it hasn't broke out by then.
Maybe it needs another nudge.
It will need another nudge.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mother. I have much to contemplate. Um, this is the first time I've used this thing. This thing is going to stay up for like 24 hours,
Oh,
so...
well, I will start ignoring you.
Well,
Just,
I don't think that it's like just hearing each other's thoughts. I think it's like a conversation. Like if you want me to know to hear what you're saying, I'll try not to think my thoughts towards you.
okay, well, that would be best. Yeah,
I'm sure you don't want me to know all the thoughts that are going on with whatever you're doing.
you know. No. Of course, that only wants you to listen more, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. That's what I
I don't know
thought.
what you're talking about.
Okay, so figure out a way to make this more intrusive. Got it. Got it. Okay.
Very well.
Well, I wasn't joking with what I said, Mother. I think there's only one logical choice at this point.
Of what?
Your successor.
I'm still thinking about that.
I've been thinking about it a lot. Getting it is wonderful, but can be brash.
Yeah. That's why she's in Nyliesh.
The eldest is
Bruman is not
brash.
going to, yeah.
The others connive, and I think there's only one balanced choice, but I'll leave that thought up to you. I just wanted to plant the seed.
Uh-huh. The one I tried to keep out of it? Yeah, I don't know.
It would
I
be
don't
kind
know.
of kismet with that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, too close to Kismet.
I mean, if the
We,
gods trust me,
hmm. Jagged Dream under the gods.
well, no, under Kofik.
Who is under the gods?
That listens to the gods.
Mostly gone.
Mostly gone, yes. But that would
Mm,
be even more kismet as it was the
I've
jagged
been there.
dream that pulled my father from Tyr.
well, this is true.
Do you think the gods are powerful enough to have seen that happening and seen this happening? I'm still new to this whole god thing.
Yeah, that's something you would have to ask the gods.
Maybe I will next time they pull us to that arena place.
Probably a good call.
And with that, he'll just say, like, okay, love you, mom, bye. And he'll head off to start some forging.
All right. What are the rest of you doing while he's standing in the foyer having a mental conversation? You can see some expressions crossing his face, but he's not saying anything. It's all mental.
Being uncomfortable and wishing somebody would take me somewhere.
Well, they did provide food in the dining hall.
I will go eat even if I'm not hungry.
And you're having
And
a
they will,
roommate up.
yeah, they will show you once the quarters are done. They will show you where the quarters are.
Once I know where my room is, I will go to my room.
Okay.
And the first thing I will do is open up the bag of holding and turn it inside out.
Okay. Which one?
The one that had everything from my laboratory in it.
Oh. Suddenly you got hundreds of books just laying everywhere across the floor.
I will start digging through all of the books, all of the papers, specifically looking for the one that I was required to study before I became an Aeon priest.
Okay. All right. You're going to study. Kenneth, what are you doing?
I mean, if we're just here in town for the day, I'll probably go. I guess I'll go check in at the temple real
Okay.
quick.
Okay.
But beyond that, nothing specific unless I find any interesting history books anywhere.
Okay. I mean, the temple always has some history books and whatnot if you wanted to grab one to read or
Actually, I'll
whatever.
go ahead and look through what they've got and see if they've got anything about this chalice at all. See if there's anything about that, and I'll let them know that I'll at least tell them, yeah, I know what I'm looking for, maybe in the section forbidden to the younger among us.
He will lead you up to the section of I can't remember who is it. Cedric? Did I say Cedric? I don't remember what his name was at this temple. He will lead you to an area of the library that's kind of back behind the rest of everything else. He moves a bookcase to get back in there. And there is it's lined with bookcases, but it's a small room. And he will go and kind of sift through a couple of books, and then he will pull one out that is super old. And he will open it up for you to about where it mentions the chalice of blood scrying.
Okay.
And lay it out for you to read. As you read, and I know we're running late, but as you read, you will read about Corin and Tarek. I believe those are their names.
Those names sound vaguely familiar.
Yeah, Corin and Tarek. And how Tarek was usually the one that would kind of lose control. Corin was the one that helped to calm him down.
Oh, okay. I know why those names sound familiar.
Yes. Basically, after the two names are listed, oftentimes they refer to them as judgment and justice, as opposed to by name. Tarek was judgment, Corin was justice. And though they did a lot of things together, several things they did apart. At one point in this book, they believe Corin was possessed. Later to find out that Tarek had actually used a blood ritual while they were apart at one point to basically take over Corin and have Corin enact judgment.
Interesting.
It was after that they don't know in this book. It kind of fades out a little bit, and from that time they did not know what happened to the chalice that Tarek had used for this ritual.
Right.
But had they found it, they would have destroyed it.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
that's what you read. Evangeline.
Have
Go
I
ahead.
read about the two of them before?
You've heard talk of Corin. That he was, a champion of the Raven Queen. The sword was, his basically his holy relic, the holy symbol that he communed with the Raven Queen and helped to enact her will upon the world, getting rid of necromancers, getting rid of the undead, putting life back into balance. Um, and that is the sword of which you had always searched for, and you now
Right.
have in your hand. Um,
Now I'm really
not
putting two and two together a little more.
Yeah, not so much Tarek. You haven't heard a whole lot about Tarek. Um, sometimes it might mention like a brother or something of that nature, but in this book specifically, it does mention him by name, Tarek. And you have never heard or read about Corin doing something contrary to his personality, something contrary to justice. He was actually enacting judgment. You had never really heard that before.
Okay.
So this is the first time you've actually read about it.
Okay. Well, I'll keep doing more research into the two of them
Okay.
event over time, but
Okay.
we don't have to
All
go
right.
into that right now necessarily.
Right. You're going to continue to research. All right. When night wanes, you head back to the Trinson house to sleep, or do you stay at the temple?
No, I'll head back to the house.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to know where you end up. Evangeline,
Yes.
upon reading your paper of when you initially pledged to the Order of Truth, you see in that paper things you agreed with at the time that you're not so sure is accurate anymore. And basically, it's calling forth the Order of Truth. Members of the Order of Truth are to seek and to search out Numenera, to bring back to be studied so they can be used for the good of the multitude of people, the good of everyone. The knowledge and research that they have, they can implement for the good of the people. Um, there's no As you read through it, you realize the solidarity of it. Like they are in control of the Numenera for the good of the people. Um, they don't think individual people should necessarily have Numenera, for the individual person is greedy, the individual person is selfish, and will not use it for the good of the people. Um, and so you're starting to read a little bit more of the truth behind. Well, your eyes are a little bit more opened to the truth of the Order of Truth, um, and they are established as a religion in the eyes of the people. And in this order, it does talk about helping the people, no matter where you go, aiding them in wellness and prosperity, um, blessing them as you find need, because you know that is how you maintain the Order of Truth. Um, that maintains their status of religion. And you're starting to read through this with a little bit more open eyes now that you've been there. And
Now that I've experienced from an outsider looking in a god?
Yep.
I'll continue to dig through my findings because I want to know exactly what the order of truth's vision or thoughts are on those that are not like us.
All right. You will continue to dig a bit further. And you will find add some members of note. Well, I thought it said specifically in here. You will find that the order of truth, as you read through this, believe those that are not like you, that are mutated. They specifically say mutations. Those who have mutations have inadvertently or purposefully used Numenera for their own selfish gain. Giving you the impression that they are not too keen on mutations. Oh, she's heartbroken that I trapped her in there, apparently.
Yeah, she's heartbroken. Chuck's giving her lovin'. Okay.
All right. So, after you do some reading,
begin to organize my books into stacks and,
all right.
the normal. Try to figure out where everything's at.
All right.
Because I just threw it in the bag and then I just dumped the bag.
Yes, you did.
It's everywhere.
All right. As the
Looks
evening,
like a teenage boy's room. Oh.
yeah. As the evening comes to a close, dinner is served. You have some dinner. You notice that Doran is the only one at the house at the moment. Everybody else seems to not be there. Off doing things. And this is where we will stop for the evening.
Okay.
Dinner time with
Dinner
Dolan.
time. Sounds good.
All right, sounds good. All right. Well, this is where we'll stop. For those of you who are watching, thank you for hanging in there. And we hope to see you next week. Remember to check out our website, dndadjokes.com, where we definitely have updates. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you know when we're live and turn on those notifications. All right? We'll see you next week.